Hi everyone, I'm John Clifford A. Mumu, and I'm going to tell you the Republic Act of 10173, the Data Privacy of 2012. What is RE 10173? An act protecting individual personal information in information and communication system in the government and the private sector, creating for this purpose a National Privacy Commission and for other purposes. Section 1, short title. This act shall be known as the Data Privacy Act of 2012. Section 2, Declaration of Policy. It is the policy of the state to protect the fundamental human right of privacy of communication while ensuring free flow of information to promote innovation and grow. The state recognizes the vital role of information and communication technology in non-building and its inherent application to ensure that personal information and communication system in the government and in the private sector are secured as unprotected. Section 3, Definition of Terms. Whenever used this Act, the following terms shall have their respective meaning hereafter set forth. E. Commission shall refer to the National Privacy Commission created by virtue of this Act. B. Consent of the data subject refer to any freely given, specific informed indication of will wherever the data subject agrees to the collection and processing of personal information about and or relating to him or her consent shall be evidenced by written electronic of recorded means. It may also be given on behalf of the data subject and agency specifically authorized by the data subject to do so. In otherwise known as the Data Privacy Act is a law that seeks to protect all forms of information, be it private, personal, or sensitive. C. Data subject refers to an individual whose personal information is processed. So in other terms, data subject agrees to the collection and processing sa pinaproseso ng personal information tungkol sa nauugnay sa kanya. D. Direct marketing refers to communication by whatever means of any advertising or marketing material which is directed to particular individuals. So, ang direct marketing ay isang paraan ng promosyon ng kinabilalangan ng pagpakilala ng impormasyon tungkol sa iyong kumpanya, produkto o serbisyo sa iyong target na customer na hindi gumagamit ng middleman sa advertising. A filing system refers to any act of information relating to natural or juridical person to the extent that although the information is not processed by equipment operating automatically in response to instruction given for that purpose, that set instructed either by referring to individual or reference to criteria relating to individual in such a way that specific information relating to a particular person is readily accessible. So, ang sistema ng pag-file ay tumutukoy sa anumang pagkilos ng impormasyon na may kaugnay sa natural o juridical na mga tao. It depends on information sa pag-process ng mga file. F. Information and communication system refers to a system for generating, sending, receiving, storing, or otherwise processing electronic data, message, or electronic documents and includes that the computer system or other similar device by or which data is recorded, transmitted, or stored, and any procedure related to the recording, transmission, or stored of electronic data, electronic message, or electronic document. So, in other words, aparato application ng komunikasyon ay sumusaklaw sa radio, television, cellular phone, computer, and network, hardware at software, satellite system at iba pa na rin ng iba't ibang serbisyo o aplikasyon na ugnay sa mga tao. G. Personal information refers to any information, whether recorded in a material form or not, from which the identify of an individual is apparent or can be reasonably and directly ascertained by the entity holding the information, or when put together with other information will directly and certainly identify an individual. So, sa G is ginamin niya ang information or an opinion about an identified individual or an individual who is reasonably identified. So, kung ang information o opinion ay totoo o hindi, ay kung ang information o opinion ay naitalala sa isang material. So, it depends on an opinion sa usa ka tawo. H. Personal information control refers to a person who or organization who controls the collection, holding, processing, or use of personal information, including a person of organization who interacts another person or organization to collect, hold, process, use, transfer, or disclose personal information on his or her behalf. The terms include. Under the DP, a personal information control refers to a person, natural or judicial, na kontrol sa pagproseso ng personal na impormasyon kabilang ang isang tao o organisasyon na nagtuturo sa iba na magproseso ng personal na impormasyon sa ngalan niya. Section 4. Scope. This act applies to the processing of all types of personal information and to any natural and juridical person involved in personal information processing, including those personal information controls and processors who, although not found or established in the Philippines, use equipment that are located in the Philippines, or those who maintain an office, branch, or agency in the Philippines, subject to the immediately succeeding paragraph, provided that the requirements of Section 5 are complete with. E. Information about any individual who is or was an officer or employee of a government institution that relates to the position or function of the individual, including: Number 1. The fact that the individual is or was an officer or employee of the government institution. Number 2. The title, business address, and office telephone number of the individual. So, in this statement, the subject data agrees to the collection of processing of personal information about and or relating to him or her. Number 3. The classification, salary range, and responsibilities of the position held by the individual. And number 4. The name of the individual of a document prepared by the individual in the course of employment with the government. B. Information about an individual who is or was performing service under contract for a government institution that relates to the service performed, including the terms of the contract and the name of the individual given in the course of the performance of those service. So, ang pagproseso ng personal na data ay dapat pahintulutan na nagpapailalim sa mga pagsunod sa mga prinsipyo ng transparency, lehitimong layunin, at proporsyonalidad. Section 5. Protection afforded to journalists and their source. Nothing in this act shall be construed as to have amended or repealed the provision of Republic Act No. 53, which afford the publisher, editors, or duly accredited reporters of any newspaper, magazine, or periodical of general circulation protection from being compelled to reveal the source of any news report or information appearing in said publication which was related in any confidence to such publisher, editor, or reporter. So sa Section 5, protection afforded to the journalists and their source. So, ang reporter ay ang mga mamamahayag ay may limitadong karapatan sa unang susog na huwag piliting mabunyag ng impormasyon o kumpidensyal na mga mapagkukunan ng balita sa korte. Section 6. Extraterritorial application. This act applies to an act done or practice engaged in an outside of the Philippines by an entity. E. The act practice of processing relates to personal information about a Philippine citizen or a resident. B. The entity has a link with the Philippines and the entity is processing personal information in the Philippines, or even if the processing is outside the Philippines, as long as it is about Philippine citizens or residents, such as but not limited to the following. Number 1. Contract is entered in the Philippines. So, data privacy RA 10173 is it is the policy of the state to protect the fundamental human right or privacy of communication while ensuring free flow of information to promote innovation and grow. Chapter 2. The National Privacy Commission. Section 7. Functions of the National Privacy Commission to administer and implement the provision of this Act and to monitor and ensure compliance of the country with international standards set for data protection. There is hereby created an independent body to be known as the National Privacy Commission, which shall have the following function. So, ang National Privacy Commission ay isang independenteng pagsunod ng mga bansa sa mga internasyonal na pamuntayan ng itinakda para sa proteksyon ng personal na data. Thanks for watching!